Hi, so this video is about the content area reading strategy known as the discussion web. Donna E. Alverman, excuse me, is a professor of education at the University of Georgia, and she introduced it in an article called The Reading Teacher, and it was published in October of 1991. So the way that the discussion web works is that a teacher will find a reading passage or a reading selection. She'll have it for the students. Then she'll pose them a question. One of the really interesting things about this is that you can use it before the students read or after the students read, or even a combination of the two. So she poses the question to a student. It's normally an either or not necessarily a compare and contrast, but the point is to weigh the pros and the cons of the question and then come up with your own solution or your own consensus. So once you have your questions, the students are going to think about their answers and write those down, the pros and the cons as well, and then they're going to get with a partner. They're going to share that, come up with a consensus, and then one of the partners will share it with the rest of the group. So this is the template that Dr. Sims shared with us. It's just you put your question here, yes or no, and then you put your evidence on either side of it. I actually chose something that looks a little bit more like this one because to me it looked a little bit more like a web. And being the graphics person I am, I need visuals. So my tutoring students were going over the art of graffiti, and my question is, should graffiti be legal? Now on this side it says legal, on this side it says illegal. So students can come up with their personal beliefs, or they can read the passage and then come up with evidence from the passage to prove whether it's legal or illegal. So some of mine were that it gave poor people, poor children who had limited access to do different things, it gave them something to help them pass the time, that kept them out of gangs, it kept them out of drugs, and out of violence. Some people think that it is a form of art, and there are a lot of graffiti artists who have become very, very famous, very respected, and have made a lot of money at it. Over here, where it's talking about why I think it should be illegal, is that it's considered a destruction of property if you don't get permission to do it first. It can be extremely offensive to some people. The first two artists that are credited for coming up with graffiti became very obsessed with it, to the point where the first gentleman, people thought that he might have been on the verge of going crazy. It can cause gang wars if you're claiming territory over other ones. So these are just some of the reasons that I put in here. Some came from the article, some were my own beliefs. And then as a group, we shared it, and then we put our consensus down here, and then we would share that with the group. Now, that is just one way that you can use discussion webs, but I hope that helps. I hope that it makes it a little bit more easier to understand. Thank you.